Hey guys, so today I'm going to play as SKADI on Smite duel 1 versus 1. So I did mention I was going to play as Ramona and talk about items that counter him and how to deal with those kind of items. However, I wanted to get some good gameplay of that, and I also wanted to, show up some visuals of the items and like let's say like a chart. So for the time being, I'm going to play as SKADI, who's an extremely fun god and really powerful on duel. I'm playing against a Danzaburou, and I do win this matchup because even though Danzaburou is really good, SKADI has a much more of a useful kit against Danzaburou in a 1v1. So for my start, I decided to go with Death Toll, simply because it's a great item early game. It gives you health and mana every time you basic attack, and it's a brilliant item late game if you can get Death's Embrace. If you get Death's Embrace and your opponent doesn't have it, then you will tend to have the upper hand, simply because you'll heal more and you'll get your mana back and you'll do a lot of damage. So that's why I like Death's Embrace and Death's Toll. I went for tier 1 bow because after I finish my ninja tabi boots, I want to get Ichabod, and that will give me a massive power spike. And also, even before I get my Ichabod, I will be basic attacking more. That means I'll heal more and I'll get more mana back. Because I'm going to get more mana back and I've got Death Toll, I decided to go for the speed buff, so to increase my attack speed and to increase my movement speed. I went for beads in case I want to fight him and he can't, just to stop him from taunting me. And I've also went for 2 health pots simply because I don't think I will need the mana. So I'm quite low on mana right now, but I would much rather have the health pots than have the mana pots early game in the fight. I tend to back soon after I clear this wave, simply because I can afford my tier 2 boots. So I'm just going to clear the wave, use up all my mana, go back to the base and get my item. So right now I'm pushing my minions under his tower. If their tower attacks my minions, then they don't get any gold. So if you look at the top, 300 gold ahead of him, simply because I pushed my minions under his tower. Because I've got Death Toll, I'm healing up and I'm comfortable, I can out pressure him. So that's what I'm doing, I'm just staying to out pressure him. I decided to ult him here just to make him go back and just to keep up the pressure and push my minions in his wave. If he ults me, then that's just a waste of his ult because I've got all my minions there and I want him to lose as much farm as possible. I decided not to back for tier 2 boots because I'm 100 gold away from tier 3 from 4 boots, which is a massive power spike. He decided to ult me here, which doesn't really do much for him. I pop a health pot just to heal up. But yeah, he's wasted his ult now. I've already used mine, so my cooldown's up sooner than him, which is really good for us. And now I can actually go back and get my boots. I'm just annoying him a bit. I'm trying to get my minions under his tower, but I was able to only get 2 off there. So I tried to get him with my 3 to stop his back, but that didn't quite work. He wanted to stay anyway because he was afraid of losing more minions under the tower, so that was quite good for me. Even though we're only 3 minutes in, I'm actually 500 goals ahead, which is almost like a kill. So I'm really happy with my lead. So his health's really low at the moment. He went for Death Toll 2, but he's not basic attacking enough to heal up and get his mana back. I go into the tower just to hit him with my 3, just to annoy him and make him miss out the farm for the next wave. I'm comfortable on life stealing using the minions and my Death Toll. So that's just what I'm doing right now. I more or less clear instantly with my 1 there, as you can see, where I threw her spear. So I'm just trying to annoy him. His health's really low. He's taking a lot of damage from my own minions. What I want to do at the moment is I want to actually clear this wave whilst he goes back, and that way I can not miss out on any farm and I can get my full boots. So since he's back, I'm actually a bit confident that I can get the red buff. So hopefully I can get it before he clears the wave underneath the tower. So I actually decided to ult this because I think it's worth the XP. Using my ult for XP and stopping him from getting it. And I was able to get it there. So that's the move I was talking about, the move that taunts you into basic attacking it. It's a bit like Athena's taunt, where it makes you face it and basic attack it. He actually almost kills me here, but he ran all the way behind my first tier tower, and he's missing a whole wave for this, so that was actually really good for me. I managed to get my 4 boots and tier 2 bow, so I can now go back onto the lane, and he missed a bit of XP simply because he wanted to try and kill me and he missed. So he really should have killed me there, and the fact that he didn't, he's going to get punished by missing out on some XP. So I was already 500 gold ahead of him before he backed, and I actually stayed a bit longer to get the red buff. So that means my items, I have better items on than he does. He obviously got my blue, but that's not the biggest issue in the world, simply because I got the red, and we're kind of even in terms of getting camps. So I'm still 700 gold ahead, and that's the main thing about duel. Not just duel, that's the main thing about Smite in general. It's all about farm and XP. That's the main thing you need to focus on. So when you're playing Conquest, Clash, Arena, well, maybe not Arena, but when you're playing Conquest, Duel, Clash, the main thing you need to focus on is actually the XP and the gold that your teammates are getting, you and your teammates are getting. So the only reason why kills are useful in Smite is to stop them from getting gold and XP. So the timer so their death timer, they can't get gold and XP then. So that's the only reason why getting kills is useful. I don't think people realize that sometimes. So you should just focus on clearing as much waves and as many camps as possible, and you only fight once you've cleared all your waves and camps. So right now I can't back for my full Ichabod, but because I've got an item ahead of him, not a full item, but I think I've got tier 2 bow and he hasn't. So because of that, I'm ahead of him in terms of DPS. So I'm comfortable fighting him whilst we're both out on the lane. So I want to delay him as much as possible simply because I'm in a better position right now. So I actually wasn't able to get him there. I was a bit late. I wanted to check up on his blue buff to rob him of XP, but I wasn't able to. So I'm just going to clear that wave, get the red buff, and keep up my grind. So this is actually my first time playing against a Danzaburou on duel in season 8. So I'm not actually too sure who wins late game, but I'm pretty confident it would be SKADI anyway, simply because her kit makes a lot more sense for late game, to be honest. So I'm 800 gold ahead, plus I backed a lot later than him. That means I have a full tier 2 breastplate ahead of him. So for the next fight, I'm going to do way more DPS than he does. Tier 2 breastplate is actually a massive defense spike, or power spike, however you call it. But I will definitely out DPS him in any fights. So I'm actually looking for him here. So I'm hoping he's that leaf that's running away. I'm looking for him because I kind of want to fight him, because I'm comfortable that I'll beat him in a fight at the moment. I warded his blue and it's up. I'd get that once I cleared this wave, but right now I actually want him to fight me, because I've got a full tier 2 breastplate on. So I've cleared that wave, I'm going to go for the blue. If he comes around, then I'm confident that I can kill him, even without my ult. So I'm just going to basic attack him and try and go for him. He uses his ult, but he runs away. Maybe running away wasn't the best play there, because maybe he could have killed me actually. But he decided to run away because he wasn't that confident. I don't think this guy was like a level 10 Danzaburou, so maybe he's not confident in his ability as Danzaburou, because maybe he could have killed me there. And he decided to back. So I can go back and get my full tier breastplate. However, I just want to get as much farm before I do that. So I'm going to clear this wave before I back. The build I want to go for at the moment is attack speed and defense, because that is the best build for late game. When you rely on ability damage, then you kind of fall off at the end, simply because if you can't kill somebody with your whole kit, then you have to wait for your cooldowns to come back up. And in the meantime, while you're waiting for your cooldowns to come back up, they can use their abilities, plus they can use their basic attacks. And also, if you build enough defense, then people can't one-shot you with abilities anyway, unless they're really far ahead. So that's why an auto attack build usually works best late game. So if you saw his items there, he went for a tier 2 audacious bow to help us clear. I'm not too sure if Danzaburou has issues clearing waves, but that's a massive downfall for him in terms of fight potential. So Ichabod is way better for fighting than Odysseus bow. So whenever I basic attack him, I rob him of his attack speed. So if we're having a battle, a boxing match in the mid, then I'm robbing his attack speed with my Ichabod. Plus I've got a massive power spike with my Ichabod. It gives me 75 power and 30 attack speed. Whereas Odysseus bow only gives you 40 attack speed. And it also gives you the passive, where 1 in every 4 auto attacks does 15% extra basic attack damage, which is really nice, but I've noticed from experience it's not the best on duel. So for my second relic, I went for Horrific Emblem, simply because he never went for sprint. So the next time I fight him, I can, slow him and slow his attack speed and his movement speed and win a fight. Horrific Emblem is literally one of the most underrated emblems in the game. I love it to bits. If somebody doesn't get sprint, then I'll get Horrific. And even if they do get sprint, I'll just get Frostbound and Horrific. They can't sprint both of them. And I just love Horrific so much. I've been getting Horrific a lot more in Conquest actually, simply because the counter to Horrific is sprint, like I mentioned. So people have to get sprint just to counter your Horrific Emblem. They also have to time their sprint immediately after you Horrific. And not only that, not everybody wants to build Horrific. So the carries would want to, the mage wouldn't want to. So that means they'll have to rely on their frontliners to build that, and they're relying on their frontliners to always be near them. If they're not, then you can just Horrific them and just kill them because they can't get away and their attack speed is slowed. So now that I'm done pure, fantasizing over Horrific Emblem, I'm gonna clear the wave. I thought he was gonna go back there, but I think he's worried about losing his tower and losing more farm. So he decided to stay. Not too sure if that's the best play for him. I'm so far ahead. I'm 1,000 gold ahead at the moment. I got the tower anyway. He can't really stop me. I decided to ult him there, and he Aegis and he shelled, which is a really, really bad play. You should try your best to avoid using your relics to counter someone else's ult, simply because ult timers are way shorter than relic timers unless it's an auto run ult. But unless it's an auto run, ult timers are usually a lot shorter than relic timers. So sometimes on duel, it is worth using your ult to get someone to force their relics. That way, when you get your ult next back, they haven't got their relics up. So for the next fight, in 40 seconds, or 35 seconds now, if I ult him, he won't have his shell or his Aegis. So I'm in a much better position. And that's even ignoring the fact that I have a gold lead and an XP lead on him. So I decided to go for Berserker's Shield here because of the 50 power, 20% attack speed, 10% penetration, and the 20 physical protections. And the passive of Berserker's Shield is okay, you don't want to rely on it. So what happens is when you're below a certain amount of health, you gain an attack speed boost, which is nice, but you don't want to rely on that because you don't want to be that low in health. The base stats of Berserker Shield is fantastic to begin with. So here, now that he hasn't got any of his relics, I decided to ult him and he runs away. And that gives me a good chance to clear the wave, and I'm going to actually wait for the next wave to come through so I can clear that as well. He's somewhere in the left jungle, he's either there or he's back. So now that he's come back to the mid, that meant he backed whilst he was on the left jungle. So I'm going to go back to farming, I'm going to get this red buff. Once I get Death's, if I can get Death's Embrace before him, then the time period between me having it and him not having it is massive, and I can win the game off that little time period. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to get the camps, and I just keep wanting to apply pressure, and then decided to go for Bull Demon right here. I'm comfortable that I can actually burst down the Bull Demon before he gets here, and even if he does decide to come here, I can easily kill him. I've still got my beads and my Horrific, and my base kit is fantastic even without my ultimate, because I've got Calder to block basic attacks. I've got my 1 which does a lot of damage, and I've got my 3 which will help me with mobility. He's got his little leaf stance which helps, not stance, his little leaf form which helps him with his mobility. So the leaf form that he's in now. I popped Terrific there, and I popped my ultimate, and that wasn't enough to kill him unfortunately, but I've got the Bull Demon, so I'm able to get his Phoenix next. I decided to defend my tier 1 tower just to stop him from getting it, but I need to back because my health is quite low. So that fight didn't go as well as I wanted to. Ideally, I would have got Bull Demon and I would have defended my tower. I think I got too confident and I wanted to fight there. So that's why I wasn't able to kill him and I wasn't able to clear the wave. So that was a bad misplay by me. But it's fine. I'm still ahead of him on XP and ahead of him on gold by 1,000 coins. I've decided to go for tier 2 Odysseus bow. This is a lot better late game. It's not that great early game simply because you want the power early game, but late game it's going to help me with my wave clear, and also I can basically attack the wave and hit him. So as you can see, whilst I was basically attacking the wave, I've done some damage to him. I'm focused on the Phoenix simply because if you take down the Phoenix, you get fire minions, which is really hard to clear. So next time I fight him, I've got my ult and I've got fire minions after this wave that's coming up for me now. So this wave spawned before I got his Phoenix, so these aren't fire minions, but the next one will be. So I decided to try and kill him there to try and end the game, but I wasn't able to. So he backed into his fountain. So I just done a bit of damage to his Titan, or whatever it's called. I'm just gonna call it Titan because I forgot the name. I wasn't able to get it off, so I'm gonna rob his blue buff here to rob him of XP. And I'm just going to get as much XP as possible. I'm level 20 now, so I want to get 1500 gold so I can get my Death's Embrace, which will be a massive power spike for me. He's near enough level 20, so the time period between me having Death's Embrace and him having Death's Embrace isn't that much. But that's fine, I've got it now, and that should help me massively for my next fight. I'll just quickly go over counters for SKADI whilst I'm here. So right now Osiris is broken, so ban him. He's not a counter for SKADI, but he's brilliant in duel in general, so ban Osiris. Technically SKADI is a counter for Ulla, but I would ban Ulla anyway, simply because if you come up against a really good Ulla player, then you're just gonna lose. It's just he can't be stopped. If somebody can land their stuns and their combo as Ulla, then you more or less just lost the game. So I would just play it safe and just ban Ullas, even though technically on a conquest game you're a counter for Ulla rather than the other way. I use my hero here to try and kill him. He pops his shot, he ults me, and now he's running away. I've got my Death's Embrace here and he hasn't, so I was a bit confident that I could kill him even with his Titan attacking me, but I wasn't able to. Because of that reason, he was actually able to go back and heal up and defend his Titan. He decided to follow me there and he got me there, so that was really good play by him. But I more or less won the game. If you look at the health for his Titan, you know, it's more or less gone. So he can hit level 20 and get Death's Embrace. I've still got my first tier tower. I can go back and get the Bull Demon and get his Phoenix and just finish the game. So that wasn't the worst death for me ever. I mentioned that I was going to do a video on talking about mentality. Don't let deaths upset you on Smite, because deaths and kills won't win your games. They won't lose your games. It's all about the timing. If you die, you know, trying to get their Titan and they can't capitalize, then that's fine. So right now he couldn't capitalize on me getting on me dying there. He got the Bull Demon to stop me from getting it, but you know, the worst case scenario with him getting Bull Demon is that he gets my tier 1 tower, but he might not even be able to get that because he needs to defend the Phoenix. I can just call it in there and get the Phoenix myself. So that's what I'm doing here. I've now got it, now it's just about escaping. So I cleared the wave and he decided to ult me. I've got fire minions going into his Titan. So yeah, he killed me, which is, you know, fair enough, but he's literally going to lose the game here. He chose killing me instead of defending the Titan, killing my wave and making a comeback, which is fine. That's the choice that he decided to make. So I won that game, and if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I'll see you guys soon.